No, I think someone said this morning, Ferris State has nothing to lose. You have everything to lose. But I think anybody that's any competitive nature at all, we want to win trophies. You know, so everybody's got something to lose at this point, unless you don't want to win a trophy. So there's nobody here that has nothing to lose. I get great respect for Ferris. I was in the CCHA for 15 years, so I understand the dynamics of Big Rapids. I understand, you know, what kind of program they've had. There was a stretch there, I don't know if Bob talked about 22 years ago, when Ferris dropped hockey. It's an incredible story when you think about it. I mean, the headlines were 1,000 different reasons, but hockey would no longer be at Ferris State. And then there was an underground swell from the community, from alumni, that resurrected the program, because it was gone. And we were, as a league member at Bowling Green, which is what's going to happen now. We've got one less team, and so it kind of rocked the whole structure of the CCHA at that point. But to see what's happened, and they've come back and now playing for national title game, is a real testament to the administration and athletic people in Big Rapids at that time. I have to ask Bob what year that was, but probably late 80s. And you know, they could have been just a figment of our imagination, a hockey team at Ferris State, and they survived that and became much, much stronger. So, you know, there's only 58 of us, so 59, so we're always trying to protect each other, and it was great to see Ferris come back in.
Take one in the back left, Laura.
Laura Keeley, Tampa Bay Times. Jerry, you know, going off of that, people talked about the first semifinal yesterday as like kind of the small school game, and then the later one as the big school game. But in reality, Boston College is not that big of a school. So, you know, what is it you think that makes people feel that way? Do you think it's your tradition, the fact that you're in a major market? Do you have any idea?
Well, clearly we're a nationally known school as far as athletics, and play the ACC, and you know, down there play Florida State and Duke in basketball, and hockey we're playing Boston University in Maine, and so clearly you know, we're a Division I school in all sports, and you know, where Ferris is Division I in hockey, so they might not be as well known to the ACC people or the Pac-12 is it now, not Pac-10. But in hockey circles, you know, we know Lake State, we know Ferris State, we know Union. There's a uniqueness to hockey where Division III schools can play at the Division I level hockey. That doesn't necessarily happen in any football, basketball, ACC, Big Ten university. It just doesn't. So that's why people would think from the outside, if you picked up USA Today, it'd be so used to Big Ten, ACC, Big East, that they say, where's Ferris? Where do they play? But all the hockey people already know. So,
Okay, Nancy?
Nancy Merpes, Boston Globe. Jerry, if you could just address what I asked the players, which is about everybody making a contribution, and you know, you talked about not knowing what kind of team you were going to have this year, and now that it's kind of developed, what kind of surprises have you seen, and how important has it been that everybody's contributed?
you know, I think if you're going to have a team, you need that. You know, you need a lot of players contributing, you know, in the locker room, on the ice, and you know, we mentioned earlier, Junior, so when Doc Rivers talked to us, what I thought was the most poignant point was that, you know, with the Celtics, you all talk about the big three, but he says we have players that have a lot of different roles. And he says, in this hockey team, you have a lot of different roles. You have your star players, you have your players that play maybe a few minutes a game, you have players that don't dress at all. But our goal with the Celtics, as your goal at BC should be a star in your role. So whether you're Johnny Gaudreau, probably the best freshman in college hockey, or you're Michael Sitt playing 7 or 8 minutes first year at BC, we want him to be his role to be a star in his role. Now we have some legitimate high-end players. You know, Brian Dumoulin certainly has to be one of the top players ever to play at Boston College. The way Parker's playing now, we're talking Clements and Schneider, Muse, that level of players. So, but we have a lot of players that are just stars in their role that contribute to our team, and so in that respect, I think we're maybe a little deeper than, say, Ben Smith's team that took to Detroit 2010, or we're maybe a little more similar to Brian Johnson's team in 01, where there's a lot of people contributing. So And we have a lot of good assistant coaches. I've been a keeper of coaches here for a long time, and they really are, I don't have to break them in, I don't have to introduce them to players every 3 years, so that's a big part of being a team, I think, Nance.